but you seem to be stuck in the polls at 3%.
Yeah.
How do you explain that?
Well, I explain it two ways, and we've now broken out. We're somewhere between 5 and 8% in Iowa. But as a matter of fact, we're exactly in the polls where Kerry was at the same exact time in Iowa. But having said that, Lee, I think it's two things. Number one, people know me, but they don't know me. 50-some% of the American people are Democrats. I think that's the number. I think it was a CBS poll. Say they know Biden, but they think I'm kind of they think I was born behind a podium as Secretary of State, that I'm a wealthy man and went to Yale, not knowing that I never did this foreign policy stuff as my sort of moniker until 6 years ago, and number two, that I'm the only guy that is not wealthy or didn't go to an Ivy League school, and I'm listed as the second poorest guy in Congress. So, it's a little different. I wish the image were right. But that happens to be true, what I just described, literally true. I'm the least known and yet the most experienced and senior guy. The idea that Hillary Clinton has been able to, achieve the standing of being the most experienced, give me a break. God love her. She was First Lady and a wonderful First Lady. And she's been a senator for 8 years. Come on. But that's me. No one knows much about me. It's amazing the way people, when they respond, to read my book, they go, whoa, I didn't know any of that, good, bad, or indifferent. I didn't know any of that part of your life. I didn't know that's who you were. So here's where we are, as I see it, Lee, is that we've accomplished one of our three stated goals the campaign, when I began to run for president. One was for me to get to a point, we used to kid and call it the Bill Bradley, Sam Nunn position. Everybody thought Bill Bradley or Sam Nunn should be president. All the big feet, you guys, that they're really qualified guys, not where they should be, but they're totally qualified to be president. Get to the point where, as the major story done in the National Journal a couple of days ago, Biden, the only grown-up running for president. That was part of the strategy, to get to the point where, the so-called big feet would say, yeah, no, this guy's qualified. Not whether he should or shouldn't, but he's there. The second objective was to get to the point where you all would be able to observe, I'm going to say something outrageous because you wrote it a while ago, Lee, that I'm not a bad campaigner. That I'm pretty good at actually connecting with ordinary people in stump speeches in people's living rooms, and that I have the ability to actually go out and get people to say, yeah, because in the past they've been kind of divorced, Bruce Babbitt, qualified guy kind of thing, Bill Bradley, Sam Nunn, and how do you make that political transition? Like today, we did this thing up in Rock Hill, and a guy identified himself as a minister, a Caucasian fellow and his wife. He's a senior guy. Everybody seemed to know him. I can't think of his name. Wearing a hat, walked in and said, "Well, Senator," he said, "I've changed my mind. I came here as a strong Hillary supporter. I'm going to work like hell for you." He didn't say hell. I'm going to work like heck for you.
He wouldn't have missed the failure.
No, he wouldn't have missed the failure. He would have said hell if he were. But all kidding aside, what's happened is, out in Iowa, here in your state, I think we're going to be able to announce some additional endorsements here of people who have been with other campaigns. There's actually stuff happening on the ground. The third piece is that we haven't had yet, is that, but we're hoping to happen, and I believe will, is that we'll be able to translate, as people now begin to focus, that support relating to, competence and personality into, this guy can win. Because and I'm going to say something really outrageous, self-serving. I'll bet you've heard people, if you raise the president, yeah, Biden, I like that guy Biden, but he can't win he can't win the primary. It's a little bit like what you just said, Lee. Implicit in what you said was, yeah, you're a pretty good guy for a politician to run for president, but how come nothing's happened? And one of the reasons nothing's happened is, this is the third reason, nobody's made up their mind yet. These polls mean nothing. Does it mean I can break out? That's for you all to decide. But the idea, you have every single national and statewide poll in the early states showing somewhere between only 8 and 15% of the people have definitely decided who they're going to vote for.